right, before I get to your forecast, I wanted to go in depth and explain where you live. So, you know, when I talk about the coast and I talk about the inland neighborhoods, as far as it goes to clearing skies, I want you to know that when I talk about the coast, I'm talking about this entire area. It's not just the immediate beaches. So, of course, we have the coast, the valleys, the mountains, and the deserts. The mountains and the deserts are a little bit more obvious compared to some other areas. But let's go zone by zone so you can see exactly where you live. So I mentioned that Kearny Mesa, Mission Valley, Tirisana, downtown, Encanto, Chula Vista, National City, those are all coastal communities. Then you go farther out, Spring Valley, El Cajon, Santee, those are the inland neighborhoods. Alpine, of course, in the inland neighborhoods as well. Miramar and Mira Mesa are kind of right on the fringe. So when I talk about you're going to be seeing those clearing skies by mid to late morning, I'm talking mostly about inland neighborhoods when I say that. However, if you live in Miramar and Mira Mesa, you're kind of on one of those areas, you're on the edge of that. Also, when you're looking at the temperatures, if you're looking at that 7-day forecast, if you're on this little line right here, you're likely going to be a little bit warmer than the coastal forecast, but a little bit cooler than the inland neighborhoods. So this line goes all the way up into the North County, easily areas like Escondido, Poway, Rancho Bernardo, you're all inland. San Marcos, you're kind of right on the fringe. Vista as well, Camp Pendleton as well, and then Fallbrook, Bonsall, Rainbow, you're all included in the inland neighborhood. So hopefully that helps a little bit when I'm going into a little bit more detail explaining when those clouds are going to be clearing where you live. So there's those clouds along our coast in Del Mar and in downtown, inland neighborhoods, Fallbrook and El Cajon, sunny skies. So all of that sunshine is for the inland neighborhoods and even some of those coastal areas. It's really just those beaches, the immediate coast, that are seeing those clouds right now. And they did clear out, but then they came back really quickly. Temperatures along our coast are sitting in the 60s. Kearny Mesa, technically considered a coastal community, seeing sunny skies and a little bit warmer, 71 degrees. Vista the same at 70, and then the other inland neighborhoods are sitting in the low to mid 80s. Tomorrow morning, waking up with those clouds again. Some patchy fog is going to be possible for the coast and the valleys. Most areas are going to be clearing out by mid to late morning, but again, there are going to be some areas closer to the coast, like the immediate beaches to about maybe 3 to 5 miles inland, uneven clearing into the afternoon, or potentially limited clearing. Maybe that sunshine comes out for a few hours, and then those clouds roll right back in, like we're seeing right now. Inland neighborhoods, yeah, we're going to be sunny between about 9 and 11 a.m., depending on your location. Temperature is going to be in the 70s in the afternoon, but popping up into the 80s for most areas. In fact, mid-80s in Ramona. Mid-80s also in the mountains and 100s in the deserts. High pressure, that warmer area is going to be weakening through the end of the work week. Not a huge change in our temperatures along our coast through then, but likely we'll start to see faster clearing over the weekend with mid-70s in the forecast for our Father's Day and opening weekend at the fair. Inland neighborhoods, anywhere from the upper 70s to mid 80s through Friday, then mid to upper 80s and maybe in a few 90s this weekend. And the mountains also turning up the heat closer to 90 degrees by Sunday, and then slow cooling early next week. And for the deserts, it is hot and getting hotter.